Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your July 2018 reading. This is a general reading for you Sagittarius. Also listen to your rising sign and your moon sign for more detail. Some months they will resonate more for you than your sun sign will. This reading is for Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Rising and Sagittarius Moon. So have a listen. It is a general reading. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can book a private reading in the link below. There is my a link to my website. You can follow that link and book a reading from there. All the types of readings I offer are listed, prices are listed, and payment method is also listed. So if you would like to book a private reading, just follow the link in the information box that's below under this video. So on to your general reading, Sagittarius. Let's see what's in store for you for the month of July 2018. Let's have a look at what's going on. So I get the first card I've got here is the Ten of Coins, and I get a sense of this is around you. This is what you've worked towards. This is what you have aspired to, having this balance of, finances and family and home and, having all of that, bringing in that balance, bringing in that happiness, having achieved it, what you've set out to achieve in having this complete little happy home environment, good work environment. It's as if you have the key to doing something that you really love doing and being able to do it. And having achieved that, what's crossing you, however, is the Hanging Man, and I get. What I'm hearing here is you've achieved that, but at what cost? And that's a question I want to pose for you, because it's going to be different for all you Sagittarius. But what was the personal cost to you being able to fulfill what you perceived was going to bring you happiness? Okay, we all strive for, it's the old adage of, be careful what you ask for, because you may well get it, and it's something that you've worked towards, something that you've wanted to achieve, but at what personal cost have you achieved that? It's going to be different for different Sagittarians. Have you compromised yourself? Have you pleased others before you've pleased yourself for this external image that is being created? That's what I want to say to you. There's an external image of how people perceive you, and but what personal cost is that to you, as far as your happiness, as far as doing something that you love, as far as pursuing things that you love doing. It's going to be different for each of you. I'm posing it as a question. You've gotten to a stage where you perceive you have everything. People look at you and think, oh, how successful, how wonderful, they've got it all. But you can only answer that question. What's the personal cost? What have you given up to be able to do that, to achieve that? And is it something that makes your heart sing? Is it something that makes you happy? Is it something that brings you pleasure? Okay, so I just feel like I want to ask that question, and it's about reflecting on that and reflecting on what that's brought, what that has cost you on a personal level. Okay, that's a pretty big question. It's a pretty big question. And we're masters at hiding stuff from ourselves. We're masters at burying things. We're masters at not being honest with ourselves. So really it's about honesty and clarity. Really dig deep and ask yourself, is it worth it? Okay, that's really heavy to start a reading off with, isn't it? But I have to honour it, and I have to give you what I get. You know, I have to give you what I get. What's brought you here is a lot of lessons. There's been a lot of challenges for you. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of decisions, a lot of things that you've had to overcome. But you've moved it forward. I also feel like for some of you that these are, and this is the Nine of Wands. These are projects. I feel like that's what I want to say. I feel like they're projects. They're projects that you have hoped to get off the ground, that you've hoped to instigate. They could be, if you work for yourself, they could be projects. If you're working for somebody else, it could be different jobs that you, or different projects that you've had within an organisation. They could be different jobs, little tasks that you've had to work on. You've done well with that. You've done well with that. If you're working for yourself and there are a whole lot of different clients and jobs, there is one that's going to really stand out from the rest. One idea that's going to stand out from the rest that is going to be quite successful for you, but it's been an ongoing, you've really had to work at it. It's been ongoing, but you've felt really passionate about it. You've really wanted to take that and make something of that idea, of that project, of that situation, and you have achieved that. You've been able to achieve that because you know what's going on with you is this real planning of increasing your financial status, making more, increasing your financial situation, having ideas and projects. How can I do this? Coming up with ideas, different ways of making money, different projects, different maybe working 2 jobs, changing jobs, going for a promotion. There's things you've been planning it. It's something that hasn't just happened. You've really been quite active in making it happen. Okay, just be mindful of what you're doing and the personal cost involved. Okay, because that's also important. You also need to be happy about what you're doing and why you're doing it. But there's a lot of success around this. There's a lot of success. There's a lot of, again, you see, it's about external gratification. It's about external praise. It's about how other people view you, how other people see you, how other people see you as having control of your life, being victorious, having achieved a lot, and having it all, this is how you're seen by others. This is how you're seen by the external world, the people around you, having this idea that you are so successful and happy, and and you may well be. But is there something lacking? Is there something that you need to look at? Is there something deeper that you need to look at? Okay, it's really about this is going to be a trigger for you in July to really look at where you're heading. Do you have control over your life? Can you take charge of what's going on in your life? And are you in control, or are these horses going in the direction they want to go in, and you're really struggling to keep them on track? You're going to really be given an opportunity to look at what's going on and taking charge and making sure it's going in the direction that you're wanting it to go in. That's something that you're going to be happy with. That's something that is going to sit with you really well. July is going to be quite an energy of really looking at you internally, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what plans and ideas do you want for your future. So it really is quite an energy of an internalizing of situations, of things, and really looking at what your motivation is for doing what it is you're doing, working where you're working, working in the way that you're working. Because it's a journey that only you can make. It's a journey that's going to take you beneath the surface. It's really going to take you quite deep. There's going to be this real need by you to review what direction you're going in, what decisions you've made, and why you've made them. And if you've made them for yourself, then that's fantastic. If not, there's some things that are going to need to be reviewed here, that are going to come to the surface. It's going to cause you to go deep and reflect on what you've done, why you've done it, and how happy you are about that. How passionate you are about what you do. You know, because once you've done that, this is the 10. You see, this is interesting because this is the 9. This is in your in recent past. The 10 of Wands is, you know, once you've done that, it's a real balance. I want to say balancing of the ledger. It's a real balancing of the ledger. What do I want to carry forward into August, September, October? What do I want to carry forward into the rest of the year, into my life? And what do I want to leave behind? Do I want to bring it all so that it becomes a burden and I can't move? Or do I want to only take what's going to serve me, what I've reviewed and what I can see I want to keep? And you know, taking with you what serves you, what you've learnt from, what you've gained, what knowledge you've gained is going to really help you move forward. Into new ideas and into, you know, it's really about how you're feeling about situations, how you're feeling about the direction you're going in. How much happiness and joy does it bring? How much passion do you have for what you're doing? There's going to be a stirring of that, a review of that around you, you know, and there's no need to fear it because, you know, the 10 of Swords is a completion of that. So once you get through this in July, I feel like things will start flowing for you again in August, where, you know, July just seems to be a month for you where you're needing to really review past events, review how you're doing things, review how you're achieving what you want to achieve, reviewing your successes and how they look externally. People think it's all happening, it's all fantastic, but really within you, how is it sitting with you? Okay, because that's going to come to a completion as well. And when that happens, when you're moving into August, by the end of July, you're going to know what you have always wanted to do. You're going to know what you've achieved and what you want to continue to achieve, where you want to go. Is it, you know, a job promotion, retirement, working for yourself, where you're choosing your work hours rather than working for somebody else? Are there ideas that you've wanted to give birth to? It's a good opportunity to now start giving birth to those and really bringing them into reality. Bringing them into reality, not just thinking about them, but bringing them into reality and making them work for you, because by the end of July, moving into August, it's just going to pick up momentum. So July for you is going to really be a month of big reviews. It's really about reviewing where you've come from, where you're at and what you're achieving, and where you want to move to. And also cutting through the illusion of how other people perceive you, because that's an illusion. The external world sees us very differently to how we really are in reality. So really have a look at that. Okay, really review it. So use July to really review what is going on with you and where you want to move to. It's going to be an investment well worth doing. well worth doing. So I'm going to draw a card now from the Angels of Abundance for you. You've got 2 cards, so I will give you 2 cards because you've had quite a rough trot with this reading. But I do have to honour the process and give what I get. So I've got here Quiet Retreat, which is really telling because that's this, look, you know, going within. It's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from your inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself and you'll have more clarity about what to do next. How appropriate is that? That sums up your reading perfectly. And the second card that you've got here is God is your source. And that's, you know, God, the universe, Buddha, Sai Baba, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is for you, it's all the same thing, you know, it just has different names. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. So it's about how well you retreat, find that quiet place and do that work as to what then you are able to bring in to your life. That's absolutely fantastic. So a lot of inner work for you, Sagittarius, in July, but it's going to stand you in good stead for the following months. So I wish you many, many blessings, and I hope that you travel with ease and grace through July. See you next month.